to be talking about a part of DevOps, which is delivering change to the cloud. Now, Tailwind Traders, it's an online hardware store, and their software delivery team and engineers, they've been getting much better at working as a team. They collaborate well using Microsoft Teams, and they consider security really early on in their process. And they even have continuous integration that runs all of their tests and ensures the quality of their code every time they check their code in. But when they make changes to their application, actually delivering it to customers, the deploying to production part, that's still really manual, and it gets delayed because it's really hard and it's super, super painful, right? It hurts every time they deploy because things break. So naturally, they start avoiding deployments. And after a bit, when they absolutely have to deploy, what was just one small change has now become lots and lots of changes, which of course just makes everything that much worse. And when the team finally does deploy, is all that work going to be worth it? And we really don't know until it's in the hands of our end users, right? Because we can spend a lot of time coding up features, and when it finally does deploy, our end users could be like, yeah, didn't really like that feature, and now we've just wasted all that time because now we've delivered zero value. So it's much better to fail fast and then course correct. Spend a small chunk of time writing code, quickly deploy, get feedback and telemetry from our customers, and if we are delivering value, that's awesome. Carry on, right? We can flesh out this particular feature. And if not, we can quickly course correct. So this works with DevOps perfectly because DevOps ultimately is the union of people, process, and products to enable the continuous delivery of value to our end users. So this is Microsoft's definition of DevOps, and value is the most important part. The earlier you can put something in the hands of your users, the sooner they can evaluate it and see if it's true value. Deploying every 12 months, that's not going to cut it, right? That's not going to give you the agility to change directions quickly. And we as an industry have learned that we're really bad at guessing what our end users want or need. We only really know when the feature is in the hands of our end users, either by directly giving us feedback or through telemetry. And that's why we constantly talk about continuous delivery, right? So in getting started with DevOps session, that first one, we looked at collaborating effectively. And then in managing the flow of work, we improved how our work goes from start to finish. But so far, we haven't really talked about delivering anything to the end users, and that's what we'll be looking at in this session. CI and CD, those are terms that are thrown around a lot, but they don't always mean the same to everyone, so let's go ahead and level set. CI is continuous integration, and CD is continuous delivery, or it could mean continuous deployment. CI is continuous integration, and it's all about ensuring your changes work with everyone else's changes. Or said another way, your changes need to integrate with everyone else's change. So whenever you do commit, a build should happen to ensure at the very least the changes you made still build with everyone else's code. Next, tests should run, right? Because you want to maintain your quality from one check-in to the next. So we try to catch our bugs as early on in the dev cycle as possible. But wait, there's more, right? There's more to it than just building and testing. Ideally, anything else you care about when it comes to building your app should happen here. So things like linting or security auditing or maybe even scans for credential leaks or whatever else you need, they can happen right here. So depending on what you're talking about, CD could be continuous delivery or continuous deployment. Continuous delivery means at the end of each automated CI/CD pipeline, you have a deployable application or a deployable piece of work, a deployable unit, and you can pick that up and deploy it at any time. So this should include scriptable environments as well, for instance, like infrastructure as code, where even if no environments are provisioned, or if someone manually went in and configured your infrastructure incorrectly, you have everything you need to stand up your application correctly at the end of this pipeline. Continuous deployment, that takes it one step further, and it actually deploys. So it may not necessarily deploy it into production. You might have CD into a test environment or a staging server with gates where you can promote this into production, right? But ultimately, continuous deployment is all about when you go to deploy your application, your pipeline is trustworthy and